I'm Fred Eisenberger. I'm the mayor of the city of Hamilton.
Well, Mayor Eisenberger, it's a pleasure to have you, and I really appreciate the fact that you're taking this time to speak with us today. Thank you very much. I'd like to get started by just asking you a general question about Canada and its overall attractiveness to FDI and what makes our country an attractive destination for foreign investors.
Yeah, it's a great question, and certainly has a great answer. And I think first off, I would say the stability of the country. Canada seemed to be a stable political environment, well organized, diverse, and embracing diversity with reasonably low crime rates. I think it becomes an attractive option for a lot of foreign investors that might be working in environments that aren't quite as conducive as Canada is in terms of its culture and lifestyle and all the things that Canada has to offer in terms of quality of life. From a technical perspective, we have 14 trade agreements and 51 countries that we have trade agreements with. Nearly 1.5 billion consumers are, wrapped up in that kind of a combined GDP of about $49.3 trillion in terms of that trade investment. So the question then becomes: do these potential foreign companies and foreign direct investors need talent? And that talent is actually very, very well inherent in Canada. We have, virtually 58% of our population age 25 to 64, the working age, that have graduated from post-secondary institutions. Great strength in our diversity that I've mentioned already, and I think our multicultural society, not perfect, but certainly very, very good, has embraced diversity and multicultural aspects of our society, where we bring in people from other countries, we celebrate their culture. We don't require them to become Canadian or Canadianized, but we require them to be active participants in our economy and to bring their cultures with them that we can all appreciate, enjoy, and make it part of the fabric of our country. So, from all of those perspectives, I think Canada is well placed to be an attractive, stable, uh, culturally diverse a place where investors might look to expand their product or their company.
Yeah, obviously, lots of important points and lots that we're very proud of as Canadians. And if I were to ask you to basically narrow that down and focus more on Hamilton and the region, what would you identify as Hamilton's USPs or unique selling points in terms of attracting foreign investment to the region?
We are, pretty much in line with what I just said, but for Hamilton, it's been a journey of being a one industry town related to steel, having now diversified to such a degree that we're considered to be by the Conference Board of Canada to be the most diversified economy in the country, and that diversity is a huge benefit because it allows us to work in many different spaces in the kind of job creation world, but we're also geographically well located between some very large markets. So not only in the Golden Horseshoe, which we're kind of at the apex of, in the center of the Greater Toronto Hamilton area, but when we think of the border to the south and the border to the west, I guess. We're looking at a market of some 450 million people, and that geographic location, along with our active lake port, which is the largest by volume lake port in the country, our largest airport by cargo volume, happens to be in Hamilton as well. We have enormously robust rail connections that services all of that, as well as great intersecting road networks that allows people to access their markets or destinations quite efficiently. So, from that perspective, we have the key ingredients in terms of movement of goods that allows people to consider Hamilton a great hub for that particular purpose, and that certainly helps with the diversification of our economy. But it certainly helps give people the sense that the resources are here to help them land and establish a good, solid business network.
You've mentioned that diversification of the economy already. And of course, as you said, Hamilton used to be known as a steel town, but now is being known for so much more. If you had to speak to what are now the main industries in Hamilton, which ones would you list? And also, which ones do you think are the ones that will be driving Hamilton's future economy?
Because of diversity, the list is not just a couple. Would include and continues to include advanced manufacturing. I mean, that's still 25% of our opportunity base and our employment base. But agribusiness and food and beverage processing has grown a lot. Our land mass is still 75% agricultural, and so our port is taking advantage of the movement of those agricultural products, and we see many more agricultural processing facilities coming to Hamilton because of the ability to move the goods and because the raw materials are here for them to actually produce their goods as well. But life sciences is huge. We're seeing enormous growth in that area, and especially on the research side. And we can talk a little bit more about the McMaster and the life science cluster that's growing significantly. McMaster Innovation Park, the most intensive research university in the country happens to be McMaster. So we're really poised well in terms of that intensive research to for that to lead into products being made right here in Hamilton as a result of that great research. But we have creative industries. We have obviously we talked about the goods movement industry, which I think is very robust as a result of our multitude of transportation networks capability. And lastly, we're all to some degree involved in tourism. We're not Niagara Falls or we're not New York City, but we do attract a fair bit of convention facilities to the city of Hamilton, and then we have the appropriate facilities to actually house them there. So all of those are part of the kind of overall employment opportunities that exist in the city of Hamilton, including, we're starting to work on Class A office space, which is something that we're not filled with. That largely is the realm of Toronto, but we're now seeing that a lot of the head offices in Toronto are looking for alternative places where movement of people is a little easier and quality of life is a little less intense. And Hamilton is certainly well poised to take advantage of that.
Interesting. Um, you mentioned a variety of sectors, obviously some very diverse ones, a big spread there. If you look at them and look at the last year, 2 years, or in recent times, are there any particular foreign investments in any of those sectors that you would highlight? And if so, do you know why those companies chose to come establish themselves in Hamilton?
I think on the life sciences side, we've seen a number of companies, gravitate towards Hamilton, like Fusion Pharmaceuticals, like Stryker, and Affinity Biological, Westcam, not necessarily in the life science space, but certainly in the technology space, formerly, which is now LM3, which is, very much working in the military space and surveillance products, worldwide. They're all looking at our location. They're all looking at our employment base, our educated workforce, the training centers that we have in Mohawk College that are doing some excellent work matching up the kind of future opportunities with the kind of training that they're doing. All of that starts to lead towards, not only the growth in life sciences, but growth in technology, life science innovation, and McMaster is a leader in life sciences research, um, especially through the COVID process, and they're also taking a kind of a lead role in um, pandemic research now, and they've set up a pandemic institute. And so that whole space is nothing but opportunity, and I think we've got a leading edge on having stepped into that space. The German Institute, that has many satellites around the world, has also landed here in Hamilton. That's all basically focused on life science research, and they have attracted a whole host of fledgling research companies to gravitate towards the McMaster Innovation Park area as part of that research and innovation ecosystem that I think is going to serve this city exceptionally well.
You've spoken about that research and innovation ecosystem, which is primarily driven by McMaster, Mohawk, and the other academic institutions that Hamilton hosts. Um, how do you see the relationship or the types of collaboration between academia and industry? And does maybe your office or other public sector organizations in Hamilton play a role in bridging those two parts of the ecosystem together?
Yeah, very much so. And you know what we realized quite some time ago that if we intended to be successful as a municipality and we were going to move away from that one industry town, that we needed ongoing collaboration with the major institutions of our community, and that included Hamilton Health Sciences, Mohawk College, McMaster University, obviously the city, even the steel industries and their kind of legacy here. Hamilton, the city, and McMaster had a lead role in creating the Innovation Park. That was a collaborative effort between McMaster and the city, and it continues to grow. And they've got bigger plans now in terms of the next iteration of what MIP will look like and house. Mohawk College and its eHealth and mHealth Development and Innovation Center. They're doing digital health applied research and provide advanced skills and developed services. So they're again focused on tying into to what they teach and what they uh, try to innovate on is the health sector. Mohawk actually started as a health sector college. They've kind of morphed back into that space, although they teach many other things. Their predominant focus is still e-health and the Health Innovation Center.
I'm sure we could go on speaking for another half hour, but I don't want to take too much of your time today. I'm sure you've got a very busy schedule. I want to, though, give you another 30 seconds, and really just 30 seconds, please, if you can. If you had, let's say, a room of foreign investors in front of you looking for their next destination, what would be your elevator pitch to them as to why Hamilton should be it?
I'll practice my 30-second pitch here. So Hamilton is where innovation goes to work, and we talked a lot about innovation. We have a strong industrial presence in Canada over the past 2 decades, but we have vastly increased our knowledge base and our economic sectors. We're welcoming more innovation companies and global brands with a central location between the US and Toronto, a rich suite of incentive programs, a myriad of ways to move people and goods, and the land and facilities to welcome life sciences investments in Hamilton is one of Canada's leading economies. We are fully prepared to welcome foreign direct investment right here in Hamilton. So we've got all the tools, we've got the willingness and the welcome out, and we look forward to working with anyone that wants to land themselves here in the city of Hamilton.